Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Weddings 101. We're so excited to have you here with us today. We have some exciting new news about our 2025 show, including a new show date and even a new venue. So stay tuned for those amazing updates.
And speaking of 2025, let's talk about the top 2025 wedding trend predictions. And first up, they are talking about sustainable weddings. So, with the growing number of environmental issues, many couples are opting for this route. So, what do you think about this trend? Do you think it's here to stay?
I think it is. I think so many more people are environmentally conscious and they're looking for ways that they can carry that in, not only in their everyday life, but in these big monumental events like weddings. And it's really easy just to incorporate one or two ways. One of the easiest ways is using sustainable sourced foods. And being that we're here in the farm to fork capital of California, how easy is that? And so many of our caterers are going with that route as it is, that it wouldn't even be a hard transition because, again, majority of our caterers are definitely
They're
going.
already doing that exactly. And then they're also going into the zero waste practices, and some of them are even opting for, instead of cut florals, they're going with potted plants or succulents. What I think you talked with Carriage House Farms, and she did a lot of great stuff at our show that were actual live items.
Absolutely. So again, that's an easy way to bring a sustainably sourced floral. Well, Carriage House in particular, Tamara, she uses local farmers. They use fresh cut florals that are locally grown, locally sourced. So that's another great way. They're using in season. She loves to bring in other types of greeneries that are potted or not potted. So Carriage House was a great example of showing how you can use sustainably sourced florals and, again, keeping it environmentally friendly. Back to that zero waste. One of the easiest ways to make your wedding zero waste is by using rentals. And that's something
Yes.
that a lot of couples don't think about. If you're renting out your linens, your cutlery, your tableware, all those things, it's not a one and done type of thing. You are using it, but then also someone else is using it in the future, and it's not being thrown into a landfill later.
There is no waste option. It's being
Absolutely.
reused.
Absolutely. Again and again, it's being reused and repurposed, which is great. Another great way is the biodegradable paperware. So if you are going in a route where you want to use disposables, there are so many options and nice, gorgeous options of biodegradable plates and cutlery. Also, there's plantable paper, which is a fun way to incorporate a sustainable wedding.
Yeah. Also, when we talked about with Lush balloons, and a lot of times people may think that balloons, oh no, that's so bad for the environment, but they also have biodegradable balloons. Talk a little bit about that.
So when we had Sean from Lush Balloons on, he talked about how they use these Lush balloons and they're amazing. They're such gorgeous installations. They can be on the smaller scale or they can be really grand. But one of the great things that they pride themselves on is that their balloons are biodegradable. So you may think that when you're looking for a sustainable wedding option that you're going to run into maybe some challenges, but really a lot of vendors offer these great opportunities to incorporate even just one or two things in your wedding to make it more sustainable. So I think that the sustainable wedding trend is here to stay.
And that's a great trend that is here to stay because we do want to save our Mother Earth, and like you said, just talk to the vendors because sometimes you think that there's not an option that is going to be eco-friendly, but a lot of the vendors, they're also pushing for this too, and they want to do these things. So just talk to your vendor, ask them, and they will find the solution for you. So speaking of, paper products and rentals and stuff, there's also the virtual components. And I believe that you were saying that with the plantable paper products, talk a little bit about that in regards to the virtual components.
So, yeah, if you don't necessarily want to have paper products, one of the easiest ways to cut out some of the paper is by using virtual invitations. That's a huge trend that couples are opting for. Not only are you saving postage, but it's an easy way for you to see if your guests have actually checked in and looked at their invitation. I think that's probably one of the biggest challenges for couples when you are trying to get your RSVPs is to know whether or not someone actually received the invitation.
Yes.
This is an easy way for you to see if your guests have opened up the invitation, and then it might be an easier conversation to be like, to call and ask like, hey, are you going to be able to make it? Yes or no? Like we're getting close to head count times here.
I noticed that you opened up my virtual invitation. I was just wondering if you had a chance to make a decision.
So that's another great sustainable option if you are trying to bypass using paper products.
Exactly. So another top trend that seems very popular now and going into 2025 is intimate gatherings. So what do you think about intimate gatherings?
I think both intimate gatherings and large-scale weddings are both great options. What I love about intimate gatherings is you have more time to focus on your guest and the guest experience. So when you have that smaller scale, you can spend more time. For me, I know having a large wedding, I only got to spend a couple seconds with each guest saying, hello, thank you so much for coming. I hope you're having a great time. And then you're kind of moving on. But when you have a smaller intimate gathering, you can really focus on each person, make sure everyone's having a great time, create those memories, and really focus on everyone's experience.
Exactly. And with an intimate gathering, you can have either a smaller budget or you can have a larger budget, but then you can spend it on those grandiose items.
Yeah, definitely. I think that when you have a large wedding, obviously every wedding you're paying per guest, right? So you can opt to do a little bit more extravagance throughout your wedding because it is a smaller scale.
And still maintain your budget.
Absolutely.
So another item too that I find very interesting is the virtual components. What do you think? And tell me a little bit about the virtual components.
Having those virtual components is a huge bonus because you can bring in extra guests without them not necessarily being in a seat or paying for that seat.
Exactly. And then there's also those families where maybe you have that may not even be in the state or in another country. And then this way they still feel like they're being a part of the wedding and they're in the room.
Absolutely. I love that. And again, back to sustainable weddings, you can send your guest their invitations virtually. All correspondence can be virtual. I mean, there's so many great elements that you can bring into your wedding that are virtual. So I definitely think 2025 we'll see more virtual aspects.
Yeah, so it goes right back to being sustainable and eco-friendly. So that's perfect. So there's also, we're talking a lot more now about tech integration, which that seems to be a great big item. So do you think that'll continue to play a bigger role going forward?
Absolutely. One of the newest things I've seen are content creators. So it's another aspect that you can bring into your wedding where someone is there to create all the content to go directly into social media. So you're not worrying about carrying your phone around, snapping photos. Someone's there to do all that for you, and you just get to be in the moment.
In the moment, correct.
Enjoy your time. You still get those candid photos, and you get it sooner than you would with your photographer or your videographer. But again, they're fun, short things that are not as in depth as your videographer is going to do for you.
And they're probably uploading in the moment as well.
Absolutely. Again, so if you are a big content creator and you want to carry that over into your wedding, definitely look into that content creator for your wedding. And you still, again, it's a great memory piece, but it's one less stress for you on the day of.
Perfect. Sounds like a lot of fun too. So also there's that kind of ties into personalized experiences. Because when you have that content creator, you're also it's personalized. So what do you think about all that?
Absolutely. I think couples want to create an experience for their wedding. a lot of couples don't want this cookie cutter wedding anymore. They want to make it very specific for themselves and for their journey, their love journey. So personalized experiences are definitely something that I think will continue on. Again, you can see it in different aspects being brought into their wedding. We've seen gaming chairs or gaming trucks being brought into weddings as a personalized feature. We've seen catering trucks coming in for late night eats for couples that really enjoy those types of things. We've seen some awesome AI virtual reality rooms, all these fun, great things that couples are bringing in to reflect themselves, their cultural backgrounds, and again, their love journey and experience.
Perfect. There's also going into the different types of weddings, like the destination micro weddings, where you're combining, the small intimacy of weddings. So there's just so much. What do you think about that subject?
I think, again, couples want to personalize their weddings and they want to give their guests an experience. So a lot of times guests are using vacation times to go to weddings, things like that. So I think couples really want to focus their time and energy for their guests to have a great experience, not just be there to celebrate their love and their union. They want everyone to enjoy their time. So they're creating these micro destination weddings. So again, it's a smaller group of people. They can focus their time on the experience, but they're going somewhere that they probably wouldn't have gone otherwise. So they're still getting to have that vacation time and experience these new places and destinations and still have a great experience. And we've also seen it almost as like a staycation wedding too. We have some great locations here locally where it can be a destination wedding, even though it's a staycation, a great experience that you don't do every day. We have our wine trails. We have the great craft beers here. We have hikes. We have rivers rafting. We have everything here to make it an experience that's not something that you really do every day.
Yeah, we have from the beaches to the mountains, so everything in between. So that brings us into like the weekend celebrations. There's a lot of couples opting for not just one day, but a whole weekend to celebrate their love.
Absolutely. So again, going back to couples wanting to make their weddings an experience, if you're inviting guests out and they're already coming to do a wedding, they're taking time off of work, I think couples really want to make sure that their guests have that full vacation experience where we're having everything from like yoga retreat, breakfast, and, cocktail hour lunch, things like that. It's so much fun in a way to just make your wedding customizable. And again, making it a whole experience for your guests. I think couples really want it to be an experience, not just a single day.
Yeah, and then that nice brunch to send you off to when we all say goodbye and you go on to your honeymoon.
Absolutely.
So there's also another trend is the alternative venues. Now, I don't know a whole lot about this, so can you tell us about that?
So one of the great alternative venues, again, here in California, we have so many great alternative venues, whether it's a winery, a flower farm. I mean, we've seen people doing it at the libraries, art galleries. So you're bringing in a different aspect of decor that you may not have initially thought of because your venue's providing it. Again, if you're at an art gallery, you have the great backdrop of all these gorgeous pieces that an artist has put together for you, curated for you essentially, and it wasn't, it was already put together for you.
Or if you're a sports fan, you could do it out on the baseball field or something. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, Rayleigh Fields does a great wedding experience. And then also back to Carriage House. They have a gorgeous venue. Flowers are already there for you, which is great. Again, so if you're looking for that sustainable resource, a alternative venue, not necessarily what you would think of, could be a great backdrop.
Definitely is thinking outside the box, so it's not just the same cookie cutter wedding, so you could make it your own. So there's also, another trend that we're seeing too is the cultural fusion.
Yeah, absolutely. I think couples are focusing on bringing in aspects of their own background and wanting to merge it. So you see, again, the couple's wedding journey and experience together.
So another trend that seems to be very up and coming and popular is interactive entertainment. So what do you think about that aspect?
Again, I think couples really want to create an experience, and there's so many different ways of adding interactive entertainment, from photo booths, which are great and fun, but even like photo lounges. So it kind of doubles over. Petite Events talks about how the lounge really pulls guests in. So why not create that as a photo lounge? So while you're there hanging out, chatting, really socializing, you can be getting photos at the same time.
That sounds fun. There's also live performers and singing, like Marquis Entertainment was at Wedding Showcase, and he really did keep the party going outside with the guests, and he had people dancing and singing with him. It was a great interactive time.
Yeah, and then when we had Sac Ballroom on, they talked about how they do classes for anyone within your group. So if you wanted to do group dances, because I've seen that too, where the wedding parties will come out and do like a fun dance that they've put together for the couple. So it's a great way to keep things going, keep everything entertained. We've also seen people, again, bringing out the game trucks where they have live entertainment through that. If you are a gaming couple, maybe that's something you want to do, or maybe you want to have a live artist out at your wedding. We've seen that recently too, where artists will come out and do portraits of not only your wedding scene, which are gorgeous, but also of guests. Like they'll commission different pictures of your guests throughout the wedding, which is fun. We've seen live poets putting together poetry for different guests. So again, whatever the couple loves, it can be brought into the wedding and really show their story.
It seems like a lot of the trends are really about bringing the guests more into it, more interactive, so that everybody has a very positive experience. Also, another trend that I just really love is that the bold color palettes. It's so nice to see color again.
Absolutely. I think we'll continue to see the bright colors. I think that going into 2025, I feel like we'll go back into more of a jewel tone, which I love. I love jewel tones. I think they look amazing on everybody. Mm-hmm. So why not really pull that rich color into your wedding? And another great thing, what we've been seeing in fashion everywhere, are metallics. So yes, metallics are definitely going to tie over into weddings.
Perfect. So another thing that I think is very, very sweet that seems to be a trend for 2025 is the private vow readings.
Yeah, I love the private vow readings. If you're already doing that first look, how great would it be to actually share your vows intimately, just you two, without the pressure? I know that was one of my hardest things in my wedding, was trying to keep my emotions under wraps while I was reading my vows. And had I thought of that ahead of time, I think that I would have loved that experience. It would have been something very intimate for me and my husband to share. And again, not have that pressure of keeping my emotion tied back for everyone else in the room.
Yeah, you could have just let go and let loose.
Yes.
Yeah. So another item that's up and coming is the fashion-forward attire.
Absolutely. We had Christine on from Bridal Box, and she talked about the gorgeous trends. Also, Bella Bridesmaids as well. Beautiful trends throughout fashion. And it's amazing the different styles that are staying. I think for starters, convertible dresses, the best thing to come out in 2024, and I think they're here to stay. How awesome is it to have 3 different looks with the same dress?
Yeah, that's really special.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that you definitely want to be able to convert something, but you still want to stay in your dress because you picked that out. You had that special moment. And to be able to go from that long, elegant ceremony dress down to your short party dress. And Christine even talked about how they were able to convert one of their bride's dresses into like 4 or 5 different styles, which was amazing. She had her 3 looks for her wedding, and then she brought it back to do, they changed it up a bit for her anniversary. So again, I think those convertible dresses are here to stay, and I love that.
And plus the colors, again, with the
Yeah,
not the non-traditional.
absolutely. You don't have to just wear white anymore. Like, I love that. You can wear whatever color you want, whatever is inspiring you, and whatever is inspiring you, you can, it's okay to do.
Yeah, like I remember Christine showed us some black dresses, and they were so beautiful, and even like the different colors, like the golds and the silvers.
Yeah, again, metallics are all over fashion. I love that it's coming into bridal fashion as well.
I think rose gold would be really special. What do you think?
Oh, absolutely. I love rose gold.
So, speaking of weddings and interactive, what about the interactive wedding registries? That seems like something that couples are exploring also.
Yes, I love the interactive the interactive registries. Again, a lot of couples don't necessarily need to register for the usual household items anymore. A lot of times couples already have those things. So how great is it that they can register for a charitable donation? They can register for their down payment for their house. I think Vince talked to you about that
Yes,
from
he did.
Keller Williams.
Yeah, that's a great idea because a lot of couples now are combining 2 households. So you already have that toaster oven or whatever. So what better way than to give the gift of money so that they can have a down payment for a home?
Absolutely. Another great option is a honeymoon experience.
Yes.
So your guests can register for your excursion on your trip out to snorkel, or they can pay for a couple's massage, or they can pay for a bottle of champagne for a brunch. It's a great option that guests are still a part of your honeymoon experience, even if they aren't there.
Yeah, so you can give a gift to the wedding couple, something that they're going to want to use.
Yeah.
So then there's also the wellness focus. What do you think about that aspect?
I think going back to our weekend celebrations, couples are definitely including some of those wellness aspects. Like I said, I went to one recently where we all did yoga in the morning. It was one of the things on the options of what you wanted to do. And how great is that to have we all got up, sunrise yoga and meditation after, and then we got to go into a fun brunch. It was the best thing ever.
I don't know, that's just so not typical of a wedding, but I think the 2025 trends are really just, you're not doing the cookie cutter weddings anymore. The sky's the limit. You could do whatever it is you want to do now.
Absolutely. Again, it's going to be more couple and guest focused, where we're trying to create experiences and not just a 6-hour event. It's really going to be something that your guests are going to remember and enjoy and talk about for years to come.
Exactly. So I think the 2025 predictions, the trends, I think they are really going in the right direction.
Absolutely. So speaking of 2025, we have some exciting announcements about the 2025 Wedding Showcase show, starting with our date.
Our date. So we are going to have the 2025 Wedding Showcase will be February 2nd. And we've also got a new venue location.
We are going to be hosting our 2025 Wedding Showcase at the Safe Credit Union Convention Center. So excited for our new venue. We cannot wait.
It's going to be a great experience, being that we're talking about experiences. So tickets will be available soon on our website. And we also will be introducing some new items as well for the wedding experience for our engaged couples. So stay tuned on our next podcast, we will be introducing those other great new options.
Can't wait to see everyone in 2025 at the Wedding Showcase, February 2nd at the Safe Credit Union Convention Center.
And before we go, we do want to thank our sponsors, as we always do. So we want to thank our diamond sponsor, which was Lush Balloons, our media sponsor, which was Real Weddings Magazine, and our grand prize sponsor, Retreat Salon and Spa. And then, Desiree, do you want to introduce the...
And we can't forget about our VIP sponsors, Petite Events, White Moon Rustics, and a Doboink, as well as our fashion show sponsors, Carriage House Flower Farms, Our Place, Event Space, and Kitchen.
And then we can't forget our DJ for the fashion show, which was a big ticket experience. So thank you all to our sponsors again. And again, we are looking forward to our 2025 Wedding Showcase on February 2nd at the Safe Credit Union Convention Center.